Name is Sushant Kumar. I'm a mining engineering graduate from IIT Kharagpur 2019 batch. I was working as an associate consultant in ENY, and currently I have given the CAC interview and I'm preparing for the forest interview as well.
Okay. So, like, what were you doing in ENY? Like, what was your work profile?
Uh, Sir, in ENY, I was working as associate consultant, in which I was working with Nissan Motors. With Nissan Motors, we were planning basically to introduce a new segment of vehicle in the middle income range, and we are also planning the company model about how the warehousing as well as the supply chain and logistics will be carried out.
Okay. So, like, what motivated you from, moving from that sector to civil services or Indian Forest Services?
Sir, as far as the work profile is concerned, Indian Forest Services gives me an ample opportunity to interact with the community on the ground and work for the people. And sir, coming from a mining background, I have experienced the amount of environmental degradation that is happening. So this is the kind of inspiration for me. And given that climate change is now becoming a real issue, so this also drives me towards this job.
Like, you talked about environment degradation is happening, right? So, tell me in brief, in what ways this environment degradation is happening presently, and also give an special, highlight of how mining is damaging environment.
Sir, as far as the infrastructural projects are concerned, there are various developmental projects, for example, dams or roadways or highways. So these are causing the damage to the environment in various ways. For example, the soil erosion is happening, or there is inundation, or the changing of the channel of the rivers. And as far as mining is concerned, so different mining ores have different impacts on the environment. For example, in our coal mines, we have the dumping of the tailings pond, which is increasing the arsenic level as well as the mercury level in the groundwater. So in the copper mines, we have again the dumping of the slag, so which is leading to the increase in the lead concentrate in the soil. So different mining projects have accordingly their different impacts. And sir, I would like to also highlight one important regarding our energy transition, that lithium, which we're talking as the energy transition metal, but the lithium extraction is again environmental concern for us.
So, is lithium a part of rare earth element group?
No, sir, lithium is not a part of the rare earth element group.
All right. So, like, you mentioned all these problems, like dams, infrastructure projects, coal mining. So, are you aware what is the role of an Indian Forest Service officer in mitigating all these things in terms of environment degradation? Has Indian Forest Service officer any role in these?
Sir, I'm not privy of that information, that whether IFS officers are directly involved in any of the reclamation plans, but I would like to make a guess here, sir.
It's all right, right? So, tell me the mandate of IFS officers. What is their prime duties? Like, what are their prime duties?
Sir, IFS, Indian Forest Service, being an all India service, has several mandates. The first one is related to scientific management of the forest resources. The second is related to the scientific management as well as conservation of biodiversity and wildlife present in the resources. A third is, sir, related to uh, collaborating with the fringe communities as well as the tribal communities in the forest areas, and working with them for the cross sectoral plans, for example, the joint forest management. And the fourth one is related to in the Naxalite areas. IFS officers also play an important role regarding the uh, uh, dissemination of the information regarding the Naxalism, as well as also providing an input, means providing the support to the community so that they could break the agenda of the left-wing extremism propaganda.
Okay, so in the very first point you mentioned about the sustainable management of forest resources. Like, can you quickly tell me six, seven forest resources? Like, what are forest resources? Name some.
Sir, some of the forest resources are the timber, the non-timber forest products, for example, sir, oleo resins, gums, honey. Uh, Sir, some non-timber forest produce also includes some minor timbers. Uh, Then again, we have medicinal oils, so aromatic plants. So these are some of the resources that I can recall right now.
Is water also a resource from forest? Could it be be talked in that term? Like there is a saying that forest attracts rainfall. So do you agree with it? Is there any scientific logic behind this?
Yes, sir. I agree with that forest attracts rainfall, and I do agree that water in the era of climate change is also a resource which needs to be conserved accordingly.
Okay, so can you think of this, like you are an IT graduate, so can you think of scientific logic how forest could attract rainfall?
Yes, sir. So can I take a couple of seconds?
Yes, sure.
Sir, so there are a few points that I can recall right now. So the first is related to evapotranspiration, the processes in which the forest plays an important role by regulating the amount of moisture present in the air. The second thing is related to binding of the soil and conservation of the soil moisture, which again plays an important role in the hydrological cycle. And the third thing is related to watershed management, means so overall, if you look at it as an integrated system, the rivers, the forest, and the connected flora and fauna. So there again, the forest plays an important role in the whole hydrological cycle. Sir.
All right, all right. So, Sushant, I can see you have won silver medal in a college on some mining methods, right? So these are very
Yes, sir.
relevant topic. Like presently, you must be aware that in many sector, the efficiency of mining is very poor, right? Like in underground mining, we are still following methods in which we can extract only 30% of the coal, right? Rest 70% is left in the mine itself. So can you suggest me some? Firstly, tell me briefly, like what made you win this silver medal in mining methods? Do you remember what was the thing there?
Yes, sir. This mining method case study was related to the efficiency of long wall mining in the Jharkhand district, and we were supposed to conduct an on-ground survey about how the long wall mining is being conducted and what is the extraction ratio as well as the output per man per shift of that mine.
Okay. Okay, so okay, so like you also went to US and you are also a mining graduate. So tell me some new, innovative mining techniques. Is India adopting some newer techniques, or we are still following the same underground mining, open cast mining, and this long wall mining, or is there something else in the industry coming up?
Yes, sir. Sir, the first thing that I noticed in USA is regarding the advancement of technology. And sir, as I was working in the rare earths elements, I would like to narrow my point to that they were extracting rare earths from the tailings of the coal pond, which was using an ion exchange method. So, which is one of the advanced technologies in which India is currently not venturing to that. And the second thing regarding, sir, there are some they are really using the artificial intelligence and Internet of Things in mines so that they could increase the efficiency of mining. Sir, I would like to give an example of Canadian mine. So there is a Vancouver mine in which they have set up a kind of incubation center where they are promoting the new age mining startups to come up with their sustainable mining methods with increased efficiency of extraction of ore with lower cutoff grade. And so that these incubation centers are paving the path for the upcoming sustainable mining practices, which will also benefit our environment.
Okay, okay. So is something of this kind being like used anywhere in India?
Sir, I'm able to recall that Malanchkand mine, sir. So it was adopting some of the advanced technologies and also some uranium mines. They were using the Minex method as well as the surpack modeling techniques. So these kind of advanced technologies, so that they could reduce the waste and increase the extraction of ore. So
Okay,
although AI has not been completely integrated in that
okay,
mines.
okay. So you worked in Malanchkand also. Can you tell me what is the cutoff grade of copper at Malanchkand?
Sir, I'm not able to recall the exact data, but it was around 0.03%, sir.
0.03%. Okay. And what is
Yes.
the grade of copper at Malanchkand?
Sir, I'm not able to recall that data.
All right. So what is the host rock there?
Uh, Sir, whole stock is chalcopyrite.
Okay, so chalcopyrite is the host rock, or it
Okay,
is
so
the
sorry, sir. No, sir. Chalcopyrite is
ore?
yeah, oh, sir, yeah. Sir, I don't remember the host was.
I think granite is the host rock, right? Okay,
Yes, sir.
all right. So my last question, like you're also interested in watching warfare documentaries, right? It is often said that the next war might happen on water. So, like, why do you think people say such things, right? Is it realistic that people can states can go on war for water? Do you see any flashpoint anywhere in the world or in India?
So can I take a couple of seconds?
Yes, please.
Sir, various arenas of warfare have been emerging, and as you have correctly mentioned regarding the warfare on water, so I would like to mention the South China Sea and the recent action of the Chinese Navy on the Philippines a research vessel in which they have used the water cannons. So this
But
heated exchange.
South China Sea, this flashpoint is not water per se. It is mostly mineral and general area,
Okay,
right?
okay,
So,
sir. Sorry, sir, I misunderstood that question.
all right.
Sir, on water, sir. Sir, I'm not very sure about how water is going to play an important role in warfare. But I would like to make a guess here that so given the rising levels of sea water and the increasing salinity in the coastal areas, as well as submergence of the seas, as well as submergence of the cities in the coastal areas, will definitely be an arena in which people will compete for resources, and water will come into a picture in that way.
Okay, so I'll give you like just the last question. I'll give you some hints. Like, is Kashmir conflict anywhere related to water, or maybe even the conflict between Iraq and Iran, is it linked with water, or even the the quarreling of some of our states like Karnataka and even Tamil Nadu, they also have some issues over water. So can you link these issues, especially Kashmir and the Middle East one?
Yes, sir. Sir, as far as the Kashmir is concerned, we have intimated Pakistan about renegotiating our Indus Valley Commission. So that is an arena where India is trying to renegotiate and bring the terms to according to climate change. So this Indus River flowing having a transboundary channel will be an arena of war if nothing goes right. And sir, as far as the Middle East is concerned, so Iraq and Iran, so they are having some problems on the Tigris River, so which is flowing southward. So again, this is an issue. So as far as Indian states are concerned,
All right, all
we
right, I got.
we do have rising conflicts. Yes, sir.
All right, all right. So, like, thank you, Sushant. Satwik, sir, if you're ready.
Good evening,
Hi,
sir.
Sushant. Good evening. How
Good
are
evening,
you?
sir. I'm good, sir.
I see that you have studied from St. Karen's Danapur Khagol Road.
Yes, sir.
What do you mean by Khagol?
So I'm not sure about what means about Khagol, sir.
Is it Urdu? Is it Hindi? What is it?
Sir, it sounds like Urdu word, Khagol. So very similar to Bhugol, sir.
Okay, so we have one Gol Ghar in Patna also.
Yes, sir.
What is it about?
Uh, Sir, Golghar was about the storage of the various food products. It was like a storage chamber used in the era of British times, and currently it has transformed into a tourist attraction place in Patna.
So why is it famous right now? What do they showcase now? Gol Ghar or anything related to Khagol? Can you relate?
Sir, as far as Golghar is concerned, sir, it is uh, sir, it is a kind of shows our cultural heritage that Patna is having since time immemorial. And sir, I'm not able to relate Khagol and Golghar, but of course, both Golghar is goal and is having around 108 steps. So that might be one of the reasons.
Khagol is related to astronomy, and Golghar is also showcasing astronomy videos there. So that's how they are related.
Thank you for the knowledge,
So,
sir.
welcome. Have you heard the term silent forest?
Yes, sir, I've heard the term of silent forest.
What is it?
Uh, Sir, Sir, it is a forest in South India. I think it is in the Nilgiri forest, in which silent. It is basically silent because of certain insects that is not present there. I think it is the cicadas which is not present in that forest.
Sushant, you are not 1 degree wrong. You are 180-degree wrong.
Yes. Sir, then I'm not sure about that.
Okay. Have you read about Saranda forests in Jharkhand?
No, sir, I'm not read about it.
Okay. So while you were doing your mining engineering, have you visited any mines?
Yes, sir, I visited mines.
Which was it?
Sir, I visited several mines, including coal mines, uranium mines. Sir, in uranium mines, I visited Jadugoda and Narwa Pahad. In coal mines, I visited Korba in Chhattisgarh, and copper mines in Malancham.
Okay. So you must have heard about the issues which are there in Jharia, Dhanbad. Are you aware of them?
Yes, sir.
What can be the possible solution for people living in Jharia?
Uh, Sir, so before moving to the solution, I would like to mention the problem that Charia is constantly facing the burning of the underground fire that is present there. So this is because of the higher degree of CH4 release from the coal seams. And sir, the solution can be, sir, it can be in short term as well as long term. The short term solutions can be uh, as in, deploying the quick response team and trying to relocate the people in the fringe communities so that they can be saved from there. And sir, the long-term solutions could lie in making the mines more proof and bringing in technology so that the coal gasification technology can also be deployed so that this kind of mining activities, which is igniting that coal seams, can be taken care of. As well as, sir, the other thing is related to some non-structural solution. For example, making policies in which people living in that area or living in the fringe communities are not encroaching in the coal mines area. So that could be also done.
Okay. Uh, have you visited Jharkhand?
Yes, sir, I visited Dhanbad.
Okay, so for the mines, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why do you think Jharkhand is not yet developed, irrespective of the fact that we have so many minerals? Why do you think Jharkhand or Dhanbad in that term is not that developed?
So there are a few reasons for the not so much development of Jharkhand. So the first one is related to phenomena of resource curse, in which the minerals or the mineral-rich areas of Jharkhand is exploited for the development of other parts of the country, and the extent of livelihood opportunities for the nearby communities is not that much appropriate. And the second reason is related to sir, as we talk about the per capita income in Jharkhand, which is around 43,000 rupees, much below than the national average of 1,44,000. This shows that there is inequality present in the state of Jharkhand. And again, the third point is related to the cities, in which the only major city is Ranchi, and then Ranchi with having a per capita income of around 1,12,000. And next city is Hazaribagh with just 42,000. So this income disparity is reflecting the amount of inequality and poor state of development of Jharkhand.
So who is responsible, Jharkhand or state government or central government?
Sir, I think to an extent, so it is so to an extent both the governments are responsible for the poor development, and uh, so a collaborative approach will definitely work in the central government and the state government is working together, along with the private investment which is coming in the form of mining industries.
So you are in support of private investment in mining industries. Do you know that? Are you aware of the rehabilitation plans which are laid down while you displace people during developmental projects? And in India, we don't have any successful replacement of people. Are you aware or not?
Yes, sir, I'm aware of that.
So how would private sector help in this? They just want coal, minerals, and you don't have any. Do you know any site, coal site, or any mining site which is rehabilitated excellently? Can you name any? that has been done, rehabilitated as per the mining plan which was given by them 40 years ago?
Sorry, sir. I don't know any mines which in which 100% rehabilitation has been carried out. And sir, as far as policy is concerned, the right to fair compensation, land acquisition and rehabilitation resettlement act 2013 is there for the rehabilitation of the displaced communities. So, but the principle on which it is working is not up to mark and requires improvement. So, by your permission, I'd like to highlight some of the principles of that.
Sorry?
So, by your permission, I'd like to highlight some of the improvements which we can bring into the Rehabilitation and Resettlement Act.
Okay, yeah, tell me.
Sir, one thing is related to the replacement value instead of the net present value which is being used in that compensation act. So, if that replacement value is there, then it could help people who are displaced in getting good livelihood opportunities. The second thing is related to the consent. In most of the cases, for example, the Coal Bearing Act denies the consent of the local mining people. So in any democratic society, we need that consent for proper development. And the third thing is related to the principle of overall rehabilitation, in which overall rehabilitation has to be minimized because there is no proper definition of the national interest in which these mining activities are being conducted. So these three improvements can be taken care of, sir.
So when a company is not giving 100 rupees regarding your first improvement, they are not, do you think they are going to give 500 rupees? When they are not, as per the Forest Conservation Act, anyway, there is a provision that you need to use minimum forest land. How is your third point is relevant to this? Don't you think these are all just bookish thoughts? Where are you? You are quoting all these from which report?
Sir, this is what I mean. The notes that we have read in our college times and what are the improvements that we could have done in the resettlement act. So these were the points from that notes. And sir, as far as this problem of not giving the actual sum is concerned, so the policy measures has to be more stringent because on grounds of the mining companies, they get on lease more amount of land than what it is required, and so the value of land increases enormously when the mining projects are developed as compared to when there was no mining project. So if this disparity is taken care of by the policy measures of the central government or the state government, then definitely, so then I believe, sir, in a more positive sense, then some amount greater than rupees 100 can be paid to the displaced communities.
You are interested in meditation, right?
Yes, sir.
So what kind of meditation does this Sadhguru perform?
So I'm not aware about what Sadhguru performs as a meditation.
Okay, so how many techniques of meditations are there in India?
Uh, so there are a few techniques of meditation which is prevalent in India. So I would like to mention some of them. The first one is the transcendental meditation, in which we focus on some prayers or guided by some yoga guru. The second is related to mindfulness meditation, which is very similar to Vipassana meditation that I practice. So third one is related to dhyana meditation, in which we just focus on our breath and uh, do a dhyan on some object which we have fixed for the dhyan. So these are the three that I'm able to recall right now.
Okay, okay. Do you remember the Kachachivu Island? Do you know anything about it? There is a controversy in recent times. Have you read?
Yes, sir. So this is a recent controversy that has been sparked off because of some comments by our Indian ministers as well as from the Sri Lankan counterparts.
What is it?
Sir, Kachativu Island is a disputed territory which has been handed over to Sri Lanka in 1974 uh, by an agreement between the MEA, the state government, Tamil Nadu state government, as well as the Sri Lankan government. And so this issue is coming up front because of the continuous violation of the territorial rights by some Indian fishermen who voluntarily or involuntarily cross the line and get into the shipping waters of the fishing waters of Sri Lanka, and they are captured by the Sri Lanka authorities. So that's why this has been a point of difference between Indian and Sri Lankan authorities.
Okay. Do you know the recent amendments in Forest Conservation Act?
Sir, yes, sir.
Could you please tell us?
Sir, I'm not able to recall it right now.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Sushant. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you, sir.
Rajnish sir, please take over.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hello, Sushant.
Hello,
Sorry,
sir.
I'm
Good
calling
evening.
from a very poor, connectivity area, so I'm not switching on my camera. And you'll surprised to know this poor connectivity area. I'm calling from Malajkhand. So, I mean, do you have some memories of your days in Malajkhand?
Yes, sir, I do have some memories.
Yeah. So kindly share.
Uh, Sir, I remember getting down the station in Balaghat and taking a cab, which took around 900 rupees for that 90 kilometers. And
Mm-hmm.
so the Balanskan mines was located around 5 or 7 kilometers from the settlement in which the officers were there. So I was staying in the GT hostel, and there was one lady, one Kede auntie who used to feed all the new joinees or the graduates who come inside. So these are the few fainted memories.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, because you are interested in joining forest service, I would like to, understand your understanding of forest of Bihar, which is your, home state. So, tell something about the wildlife and the flora and the fauna of the state of Bihar.
So the state of Bihar, as far as forest is concerned, is like relatively poor to other states like Madhya Pradesh. Around 1.72% of geographical area of Bihar is covered with forest, and the very dense forest is limited to only few districts. For example, the Western Champaran district, homing to Valmiki National Park, and a few districts in South Bihar, for example, sorry, sir, for example, Munger, Rohtas, Gaya, and Nawada. So only these districts have some amount of forest cover. And sir, as far as the fauna is concerned, so various fauna, for example, tiger, one-horned rhinoceros in the Tarai region. And sir, in southern Bihar, we have sambar and deer, and some wolf is also found. So these kind of fauna is there. So, and one important regarding is Gangetic dolphin, which is another national park. For example, the Vikramshila Conservation Park has been designed for the conservation of Gangetic dolphin.
Okay. So, among all these wildlife you mentioned or not mentioned, which one is your favorite wild animal?
Sir, being in the city of Patna, I frequently visit to the river banks of Ganga, and I see gangetic dolphin there sometimes. So that is one of my wild animals because I've seen it live.
And do you know recently Honorable Prime Minister has launched Project Dolphin for the conservation of the freshwater dolphin. So kindly share some thoughts about that.
Yes, sir. So it is one of the ambitious project launched by our Honorable Prime Minister, in which the conservation of gangetic dolphin has been taken care of. In this project, there has been a research center that has been established in Patna Science College to study the breeding as well as the habitat of gangetic dolphin. And so the Vikramshila Dolphin Sanctuary has been set up. The third thing is related to education and awareness programs that has been driven by our Patna Zoo regarding the gangetic dolphin under this project, so that it could create awareness among the youth to come forward and to come forward for the conservation. And so one important thing is regarding the awareness drives on the banks of River Ganga, which I have personally experienced that people are being educated about not throwing nets and not trying to catch gangetic dolphin. Even if they are catched, so they have to release as soon as possible. So this is one of the impacts here.
Okay, can you name some other river other than the river Ganga where we have freshwater dolphin present in India?
Uh, I think, sir, in Indus River also we find some freshwater dolphin.
Okay, Chambal
Uh,
is also one. Yamuna
yes,
is also one.
yes,
So all the tributaries, of Ganga has some or other amount of dolphin presence is there.
yes, sir.
Acha, I was going through your profile and I realized that you are among one, rare breed of aspiring officers who opted no as a home cadre. Bihar, you said no, and you have given Madhya Pradesh. Overall, I was seeing first preference to work as an IFS officer? Any specific reason for that?
So I've thought it through. I've thought it well through that. Uh, so why I've given in Madhya Pradesh as the first preference because of the forest cover and the amount of exposure that I'm going to get. But having said that, sir, IFS is an all India service, and I am mentally prepared to serve anywhere in the country. So for me, so working in either in Bihar or Madhya Pradesh, both seems accordingly seem to me, sir.
No, so Bihar, though, anyway, is out of question for you because anyway, you have mentioned that you don't want to serve in Bihar and you don't want to contribute for dolphin conservation because so much of thing happening and dolphin being your most favorite wild species. You have ruled out the chances of serving for dolphin conservation. But since you have mentioned Madhya Pradesh as top among your categories, so it is rated 1. So please, I mean, tell something about the forest and wildlife of Madhya Pradesh.
Sir, Madhya Pradesh, lying in the center of India, is having sir, very dense forest cover, and the fauna of Madhya Pradesh is well known. For example, the tiger reserve, uh, and so the various other faunas. So I'm not able to recall the faunas, and so the forest cover is also very high. So and sir, as far as Bihar is concerned, sir, the forest is around 1.72%. So although sir, for an forest officer, it seems an equal opportunity to work in both the forest. But given the learning experiences that I will get from Madhya Pradesh will be much higher. And sir, I would also like to highlight that serving as a forest officer in any cadre will definitely contribute to the cause of climate change. And I think so that is an umbrella arching issue that will cover both Bihar and Madhya Pradesh.
Okay. So can you tell me name of few of the tiger reserves in Madhya Pradesh?
Sir, I'm not able to recall. So I have to read more about it.
Okay. So you mentioned that you would like to work for the cause of the climate change. So can you briefly tell what is the role of a forest officer as far as Environment Act is concerned?
Sir, is it related to Environment Protection Act 1986?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So the Environment Protection Act encompasses various domains, starting from the air pollution and water pollution, and sir, as well as the plastic rules or the extended producer responsibilities. So this opens
Mm-hmm.
ambit of opportunities for an IFS officer to contribute, coming from a technical background. If I mention about air pollution, then sir, continuous monitoring and feedback technologies can be set up in that regard. So for water pollution, again, these kind of frequent checking, both on the downstream as well as the upstream of the rivers, will give a data set for us in which a data-driven policies can be incorporated. Sir, as far as the extended producer responsibilities are concerned, sir, devising the policies and making the supply chain or the logistic works about how these extended producer responsibilities will work on the ground, and how it will help in reducing the plastic menace. So this is another opportunity. And sir, one thing is regarding the finance thing, in which IFS officers can play a huge role regarding devising the green finance instruments or collaborating with international institutions, and how those funding models can be brought into India in a sustainable manner. So these kind of opportunities are there for an IFS officers, I believe so.
Okay, great. Thank you. Man,
Thank
this
you,
much
sir.
is from my side.
Thank you, sir.
So, all right, I think we have asked enough question. Just to end your interview, I just want to ask one simple question. Ki, in
Yes, sir.
terms of decision making for developmental issues, if you have given two choices of a political system, one is a benevolent dictatorship, another one is a very sluggish democracy. So, what do you think is the best for you know developmental decision making? Would you prefer benevolent dictatorship or a very sluggish democracy?
Sir, I will go with the on the prima facie that sluggish democracy sounds a very weak system as compared to the benevolent dictatorship. But the sluggish democracy will take into account even the minuscule of the opinions of the people, in which and it also creates a ray of hope in that system in which the developmental work, if it uh, if it somehow gives an opportunity for the conservation of environment. So, but in the benevolent dictatorship, as it's mentioned, the dictatorship term only implies that a decision has been taken and there is no consent. So in that case, there is no ray of hope for the conservation of environment. So I believe I will go with the second option.
Okay. So, Sushant, your mock interview is over. You can please leave the
Thank you.